out because of the karma. Because that energy in us is impure. It is corrupted with desire. And that downward pushing wind wants to push that energy out. It's poison. We should not. What we have to do is purify that energy and return it inwards and upwards. To unite our mind stream, to make our atom remember God. And when our atom remembers God, that atom can command Eve, sex. And that sexual energy can be harmonized with the divine. This is how the solar and lunar atoms, those pranic forces, those drops of Bodhicitta, are brought together. And the third force is in both. That third force is the Divine Mother Kundalini. That third force creates a spark. And if our heart and our mind are longing and praying to God, in that moment, the Divine Mother comes. Samadhi, ecstasy, vision, insight, comprehension, knowledge, gnosis. This is true whether we're in a sexual act or we're performing an exercise of pranayama. Before you meditate, do pranayama. There are many techniques we teach in this tradition. If you study in the book, the Yellow Book, there's one called the Christic Egyptian pranayama. It's probably more suitable for someone who already has some experience in these matters. It's a little bit complicated. There are pranayama techniques taught in Theravada.
Yes, folks, once this Mustang body is complete, meaning all the metal work is done, which we are getting much closer, I'm going to migrate
work with it for a while.
onto my 928 to get this thing done.
The most important moment is the retention of the breath. I've heard some students doing pranayama.
If you want to see this car at the first day that Steve and I got it, found it, picked it up, put our hands on it, right above the screen you're watching in the YouTube search box, type in Finding Two Mustangs. That is this car and Steve and myself.
He doesn't say to do them fast. Why? Remember, in Tantra, the length of your life is measured by your heartbeat and the length of your breath. When an animal is sexually excited, it breathes hard and fast. Because that energy is
Lots of work
That's why people live less.
has been done and is yet to be
That's why
done.
people think their energy is rapid. That's why they age fast. That's why you go out now and see
Not
people
too
in
much
30s
time
and
from
40s
now,
who look like they're
once this is all welded up, we'll be
because they're so indulgent.
body and paint work, which is sanding and filling and priming and, you know, applying spot fillers here and there, adjusting, tons of work, which I frankly have zero experience doing, and I will learn on this car.
Intimately related with control of sex. If you want to control your sexual energy and harmonize it with the divine, control your mind, control your breathing. This doesn't mean that you should always be measuring your breath, like counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't mean that. It means relax, 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 and relax. Our breathing should be like a child. Not a single muscle in tension. Sometimes the breathing is short, sometimes it's deep. But it's always very serene. Have you watched a child, a baby, and their breath, and how sweet that breath is? Our breath should be like that.
Tons of work, folks.
It is not like that.
Lots of work.
Likewise, when we engage in
And
our pranayama practice,
still lots to go. Like that gap.
pranayama as a spiritual exercise
But
is preparation for meditation.
There's a lot of moving pieces.
It's a preparatory exercise.
A lot of
in which
moving
you take
pieces.
Energy And you're trying to
in this
collapse
whole
deeply
realm,
into the solar and lunar atoms,
quarter
unite them,
panels
and create a spark. For you to be
aligned and
prepared
matched and properly
to take
mounted
advantage
to
of that
the
spark,
wheel
you
houses,
need to be ready to enter samadhi.
which aligns and matches
That means
to the
you
tail
cannot be
panel,
tense.
which aligns and matches to the rear cross
You can't be
member,
distracted.
which aligns and matches to the quarter panel extensions, which aligns and matches to the upper body panel, which, oh, by the way, is mounted to a brand new installed piece right here, which wasn't manufactured 2 years ago. This piece right here was junk.
You will not access
Steve yanked it out, and we put it in.
And let me tell you
Everything
one more
matters.
detail. Some of you know these
It's
products.
really a lot of work,
Probably
folks.
even understated.
It's a tremendous amount of work to do.
No samadhi is possible.
This kind of work
unless
right here.
enlightenment is awakened.
It's not like building a brand new car with brand new parts where
So those who
we're
read the book,
utilizing
so some of you are literally
aftermarket parts with reconditioned old parts,
and I started raising the kundalini of the
and it
first
takes
second.
a lot of
It's not true.
metalworking
Read the book
skills,
literally, it might seem that way.
a lot of
But in fact, Master Samael explains
the ability to see
he says the
and
yogi or yogini who
execute
does not
machinations
activate
in the
the
metal
brain's
with your tools,
pranayama
and not
However,
let limitations affect you in
only possible when practicing sexual magic.
in doing this kind of work. You just have to envision it. Always look at an end state. That's Army lingo that I learned years ago, being in the Army for 21 years. Look at the end state. Where do you want it to be? How do you want it to look when you're done? And then backwards plan and execute along the way like that. And this is how you do it in success. This is how you do it in this kind of work. And let me show you around here, just showing you everything in here I've done applying with that formula. Okay? This big blast room behind me. I had to see it in my mind's eye and then execute it. Okay? The lift back here.
We hear from some students who
Emplacement of my equipment. Had to do all that.
don't like pranayamas.
And then this large lift up here, or excuse me, the platform system that I established to get everything off the floor up in the air. So it's clean and uncluttered. So I like to have a sort of a clean appearance, uncluttered. Let me show you my next building scheme that I'm going to execute. This is the dust collector motor for the blasting room, 50 horsepower motor. There's my air compressor, also a 50 horsepower motor. On the other side of that wall is the power pack, the power panel. So I'm close by. I'm going to be able to tap right into that and have juice. And I'm going to use a lot of juice to run these machines. So what's going to happen, let me try to back up a little bit. I'm going to build another platform right here, keep the green air compressor on the ground. The dust motor is going to go up here on top with an exit through the wall of the air, okay, the clean air, and also an exit through the wall for the hot air from the air compressor. So I'll route them both up there out, and then I'll have two outputs in here for, or maybe just one output for the dust to collect in the dust collector. And try to keep the minimal holes up there and keep them up high so they'll look clean and orderly. That's what it's all about. At least I try to do that. And right there is the dust collector, which is going to go outside. I've got bags being made for it, and
to imagine your naughties.
Can't wait to get Dr. Blast stood back up full speed.
And it depends on
And
which technique you're doing. The pranayama
my main thing for work will be blasting your cars. No more sandblasting for you if you're an educated person, well-informed person about doing that. The only thing I'm going to do is blasting and do the metal work on my cars, and possibly nominal metal work on your car. Big full restorations, I'm just not going to take them on anymore because I lose too much money. And
That energy is
You lose too much sleep because you're just, most of you are just ill prepared for the kind of costs it takes to bring these old hulks back up to full speed.
Pranayama should be done consistently.
It's just the reality. In terms of metalwork
Not mechanically.
in this car, labor in this car, and materials in this car, I would guess we are probably at $50,000
Only that. It'll only bring mechanical results.
in costs right here on this.
A married couple.
That's just the reality of how it goes, folks. Anyways, I got to get back to work. Enough time making a video. Everybody have a good day and a great weekend. And always look up. Always look up. Be good. Be kind to one another. That's really all that matters. It's really all that matters. Okay? See ya. I got to go. Bye-bye.